Hello and welcome to the Chromaggus guide in BWL. We're getting close to the end now, and it's going to be interesting to see how much I remember from these fights. So far, you've been with me as I've struggled my way through explaining the tactics through many bosses already. And now we've almost reached the end. 2 bosses left, and I've been pressured into making these guides today, so I'm going to make 2 of them tonight, which is going to be stressful. I mean, the art and all of that is... Sorry about that, I'm opening a can, becoming thirsty as shit. So, the final 2 bosses. So, Chromaggus. Who is Chromaggus? Well, Chromaggus is a 2-headed doggo, where he has different mechanics depending on which head it is. So, and the heads have different aspects. No, not aspects. Natures. So you can have nature, arcane, shadow, holy, shadow, darkness, holy, nature, arcane, fire, frost, physical, I suppose. I think that's also a what you want to call an element. But yeah, let's get into it. I mean, Chromaggus is a I don't know, 2-phase fight maybe, because 2 heads. So it's random each week which heads you get. He has debuffs, I think. You bundle the spell those. They're bad, probably. Debuffs are never good, are they? Except, as I learned on the second boss, where debuffs are in fact good. But right, let's get into the fight. So, when you enter the room, you're going to be faced with this. Now, this is a lever, or lever, depending on where you're from. Don't push it, because the boss will walk out from here and stab everyone. This is the entrance you will enter from here. So, you will have Chromaggus. Oh god, he's big. Obviously, hang on, he's gonna walk out from his side, so he's gonna be more like this. He's gonna go and attempt to stab anyone who's in his way. So, what you want when you pull the fight is you want tanks. You want tanks to be ready to pick him up here. And then you're gonna... Oh no! What happened to his body? Okay. So, you want to... Oh my god, he's too big. I need to shrink him down. How do I shrink him down? Oh, like so. So, what you want is... There's a tank and spank fight. He's gonna have a cone ability because he's a dog, so he has claws. Hang on, I have already done this, look. I'm so good at this. So, what you want is... These are the cone abilities, right? Assume it's like a doggo in Molten Core. Lava Breath, but in this case it's fire, arcane, nature, physical, fire. All of the natures and elements I listed before. So, to get this fight, what you want is you want to sort of spread out. Like, you obviously want the tanks here in front of him. You want 2 tanks, 1 for each face. I'm assuming he cleaves, because doggos tend to cleave. You want to spread out the healers nicely around this region here, so the healers can reach everyone. At the same time, obviously melee wants to be sort of spread out around his bum. Because he cleaves, he has a tail, but the tail doesn't actually swipe because it's tiny. He has legs, but he doesn't do anything with the legs, he chomps. Oh yeah, he might fear, actually. He's a dog, he might fear. So you want to spread out and be ready to deal with anything that comes up. You probably also want to have at least 4 priests, a minimum of 2 tanks, 1 for each phase, preferably a 3rd tank. to you know, eat the cleave. He might turn around and chomp someone, like Patchwork. Don't know. Could be. I don't actually know. If that is the case, don't get chomped. Our rogues will die. I'm just assuming our rogues will die. Our guild's rogues, so they're dead all the time. So, really, you want the tanks to have some sort of resistance depending on what you're fighting. Probably the cloak, Onyxia cloak. Yeah, don't get killed. He might burst. I think he burst because he does flame breath. He could. Alternatively, he does flame breath. I don't know if he does flame breath. But you want a shaman with tremor totem. If you don't have a shaman, a paladin will do. If you don't have a paladin, a shaman will do. And yeah, really, you don't want to stand next to this because you might glitch. Don't stand next to it because you might glitch on the lever and get stuck. But he fears. If you have dwarf paladins or priest, you want to fear water tanks. Or a shaman with tremor totem. That about sums it up. I mean, there's not a lot really to go into this fight. It's not a very complicated fight. It's easy mode. I mean, you can get unlucky and get screwed over by getting unlucky elements like oh jeez, what would be the worst? Nature and holy, because there's no resistance. No, nature resist. What about fire is easy because fire resistance are already nice, but you could get holy and arcane. That would be unlucky. Yeah. So don't get those. Well, if you do, you can't really decide if you get, but don't get unlucky. And this guy should go down in a breeze. Yeah, that about sums it up for the Chromaggus fight. So thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something. Bye.